might take 20 minutes, you might be out there for 3 hours, but at some point in time, we know it's been proven on so many levels that physically, mentally, we've got that connection. You know?
And it has been proven on scientific levels, hasn't it, Dr. Zand? Why is nature so powerful for our health?
There's a huge amount of scientific evidence. I mean, it is so great, Adam, that you're talking about this, because no one should think of nature as a sort of panacea for all our problems. We know that in farming communities, in gardening communities, there can be huge problems with mental health due to isolation, the difficulties of physical work and financial stress and so on. But when you are in an environment where you have no access to nature, a hospital bed is a great example, you find it introducing nature, even if it's a view of a tree out of room, you can measure after a gallbladder operation, same surgeon, same hospital, same everything, but with a view of nature, you recover more quickly. So the soil microbiome, the smells outside, the views, looking at a tree, those fractal shapes as a tree branches again into twigs, then into leaves with further branches on them. Our brains seem to respond very, very positively to those things. So if you have no access to nature, introducing it can make a huge difference.
Also, we're going to be talking loads later about how to get wildlife into the garden. You used to have a friend, didn't you?
I did. When I lived in London, I would feed our resident squirrel, who I called President Dalton, and he was very friendly. He would occasionally come into the house. There may have been more than one President Dalton, but he was a great companion. We're now in East Sussex, where there are many. I'm not feeding the squirrels anymore, but no, it was during COVID. My little buddy, my squirrel friend, was my only friend.
We talk about that connection, don't we? But ultimately, that idea of moments. But the little robin that follows me around, you know, I'm in the front garden, I'm in the back garden. That, you know, you're there. You're not thinking about anything else.
Wonderful connections aside, this can be a challenging time of year in terms of the seasons and less light being around, can't it?
Absolutely. So seasonal affective disorder, sometimes called SAD, the first thing to say is that is a real thing. And there are people out there who are going, oh, autumn, the leaves, the crunch of acorns underfoot. It's my favourite season. I'm going to buy a new scarf. There are lots of other people who are seriously staring down the barrel of a very, very grim winter, because every winter they get this very severe seasonal mood problem. That is a form of depression. So it is a real illness that is very well studied and documented. Some people get it during the summer, but the winter affect is much more common. Do we know exactly why? It is probably related to lots of things. Essentially, you can reasonably think in evolutionary terms that the winter is a time when we slow down, we hibernate, sort of, and light exposure seems to be a huge thing. So treating it with light can be a really big deal. That is first-line therapy. I have a lamp with me here. I'm hoping it'll turn on. It will turn on. Now, there is reasonable evidence that as a first-line treatment, there are side effects from this because of the way you have to use it. 30 to 60 minutes, having it fairly close to your eyes. You can do it while you're eating breakfast, but it's hard to do anything else while you're looking at this. But there is reasonable evidence, possibly 60% of people, this will alleviate symptoms. But it's not a perfect treatment. So the other thing to consider is getting outdoors more. Even on a cloudy day, you know, that lamp's a few thousand lux. On a cloudy day, you can still be getting 3,000 lux. Indoors, you're only getting a few hundred.
Well, this is the time of year as well. On one night, we start talking about vitamin D, isn't it? And the importance of it.
Yes. So the NHS website says that, that between September and March, most people should consider taking a vitamin D supplement. It's quite gentle wording. So it's worth saying, 100 years ago, my grandfather had rickets. About half the people in the country got rickets, which is a vitamin D deficiency in childhood. It was very, very common. Now, just over 100 children in a year get rickets. So it's very unusual, that vitamin D deficiency, but still some people get it. And some of those kids get very severe health problems from it. So vitamin D deficiency is rare, but it does affect people in the UK. So supplementation can be a big deal because we make vitamin D in our skin as well as getting it from our diet. But you can get it from your diet as well.
So what kind of foods do you need to take to get those supplements?
So I have a list here, but you can think they're fish, particularly sardines, tuna, salmon, herring, mackerel. We've got red meat, liver, egg yolks, and some fortified foods. In the UK, we don't fortify very many foods. Some breakfast cereal margarine and formula milk tend to be fortified. If you're eating lots of those things, you can get, and if you're outdoors a lot, you can get plenty of vitamin D. But if you're at risk, particularly if you have a darker skin, it is worth considering taking a supplement.
Thank you, Sant. You get your tea done because you've got a busy morning ahead. You're going to be getting around this magnificent park.
I'm looking forward to it, mate.
We're going to get loads of questions about how you get a robin to follow you around the garden.
I tell
Not
you,
for now.
Tea, right? And they just want the work.
There's not much I can't do.
So they say,
After a cup of tea. As I was mentioning there, many people to special lamps to help with seasonal depression, but of course they can come at a price with top models costing around £100.
so we sent tech journalist Spencer Kelly to put them to the ultimate test and shine a light on whether it's worth splashing the cash.
With the leaves changing colour and the days getting shorter, autumn is very much upon us.
Personally, I love watching the seasons change. And the dark evenings are a great excuse to snuggle up, a hot drink and a good book. But there's one thing that many of us don't get enough of at this time of year: daylight.
In the winter, UK daylight drops to around 7 hours a day, compared to more than 16 in summer. And for many of us, that can have an impact on our mood.
I think naturally with the sunlight you do feel happier, but when it's dark and wintry you just feel like hibernating sometimes.
Well, the days are shorter. I feel like I don't want to go out of my house. I just want to stay in bed, cozy with the weather.
I'm quite a sunshine person, so I'm influenced massively by when it's bright and light and sunny.
I want to know what impact these shorter days have on our bodies. So I've come to meet Nina Milosavljevic, neuroscientist and lecturer at the University of Manchester.
In addition to helping us see, light is crucial in training our body clock to day-night cycles, and therefore it affects our overall physiology. So in winter, we have actually a very short kind of window opportunity to be exposed to the outer light.
How does getting less light affect us?
Their energy levels are going to be possibly a bit lower. They might feel maybe a bit, kind of low.
You read away from the cello.
And it's because we really need bright light, especially in the morning, to boost our alertness levels and then improve our cognitive function as well.
Nina offers to show me the difference between light indoors and outdoors using a spectroradiometer, which measures light in lux. First, we take a reading in a bright corridor.
Let's see what we get.
Okay.
We've got just under 300 lux, which would probably be the best you can hope for indoors.
Next, we're heading outside.
It's a very bright sunny day. So shall we see what we get?
So I just point it anywhere I want.
Yeah?
Okay.
Wow.
That's 7,300 lux.
With the daylight reading nearly 25 times higher than even a bright indoor space, it really shows the light deficit that we get from being inside. That lack of light in winter can be linked to seasonal affective disorder, or SAD for some. And one way to boost light exposure is by using a SAD lamp.
There are dozens of products on the market, so we've ordered 5 of the top selling products from an online retailer to take a closer look.
Dr. Shelley James is an independent lighting design consultant, and she's agreed to help me put these products to the test.
So Shelley, we've got our lamps here. What do they do and how do they work?
So essentially, they are engineered to deliver the amount of light your brain might expect to experience outside.
And what effect do we know that has on the body?
We know that it has a number of different effects. The first being to change the way that the body is processing a number of hormones, including melatonin and serotonin particularly. So those are the two that we're looking at as markers of seasonal affective disorder and depression.
Now, although seasonal affective disorder is a medically diagnosed condition, there are no regulations around retail products like these.
Some of them will say medically certified, and
do we think they are?
It's probably been engineered to meet some of the minimum standards, whether it's giving out any ultraviolet light. And that is known to be dangerous, particularly for younger eyes.
And Shelley advises that there is a proper way to use a SAD lamp.
You don't want it directly in front of you because it's going to blind you.
Yeah.
The rule is about 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. Okay, so
About like that.
and it is important that the light hits your eye.
Yes. In terms of this seasonal affective disorder response, it's the retina, it's your eye that really counts.
Time to take a closer look, and first we want to look at the spectrum that these lights produce. Now, SAD lamps aim to have as broad a spectrum as possible to replicate natural light, but we find that this isn't always the case. And I've spotted something else.
Some of these lights have brightness controls. Is there any point in making them dimmer?
Yes, there is, because everybody's slightly different, their sensitivity is different. The problem is that the dimming process introduces flicker.
So the light is going on, off, on, off, on, off.
Exactly.
Very fast.
And that can be really uncomfortable. Eye strain, migraine, some people it actually generates epileptic fits, so it's a real concern.
The 5 lamps, which range in price from £24.99 to £99, all come with a lux value. And when we did our own test with the reader right next to the lamp, every one of them did give a reading which met or exceeded what was advertised. However, the light levels drop off quite quickly as you move them to a reasonable distance, meaning there was a wide range of distances that you have to place the lamps in order to benefit from the light levels advertised. And none were comparable to the benefits of sunlight. And that's why, according to Nina, there's no substitute for the real thing.
Go outside. For as little as you can, or as much as you can, 10, 20 minutes, half an hour, the more the better. It doesn't matter how gloomy outside is, it's still going to be brighter than typical office space.
Looking after ourselves in the winter months is crucial. Getting enough light is a big part of that.
Now, look, if you do struggle with access to daylight, and if you can afford the cost, some would argue that SAD lamps are worth a try. But even as the days get shorter, nothing really beats getting outside. And best of all, it doesn't cost a thing.
So, no substitute to get outside.
It's the first thing I like to do, just open the front door. Even if it's a bad day, just to check it's all still there. I know that sounds weird, but
So going into the winter months, those lamps do kind of work for me as well. It does help.
for some
Get it
people.
before the alarm. My alarm's really aggressive, so really loud. So
How's it go? I could let it go, but I shan't. Dr. Poon, I'm stepping into the spotlight. Back in January, she took on the Morning Live Couch to 5K challenge.
Couch to 5K is a free app from the BBC and NHS. It's for total beginners and guides you to run 5 kilometres, just over 3 miles, in just 9 weeks.
Now, we know that loads of you got something out of this, so we created a dedicated Facebook page where you could follow Poonam, you could join in the journey, and you might remember that in May we held our very own event as part of the Great Manchester Run.
Yeah, Morning Live team, we're helping and supporting Justine Jones there next to Poonam, going along for the run as well.
One of the keen supporters.
Indeed, and today we are restarting the challenge and passing the baton to another of our Morning Live experts, none other than lawyer Gary Roycroft.
You were chief cheerleader back in May, weren't
I
you?
was cheerleading. I was very happy on the pavement cheerleading. I did not think for 1 minute I'd be wearing shorts.
You have never ever seen a man more ready for this challenge.
My legs are ready.
But since you watched it and then were inspired by that, what was the reason then to think, I want to have a go at this now?
Well, I mean, the key words there were total beginner, by the way. I am a total beginner, so this is a genuine total beginner starting Couch 5K. But I mean, in all seriousness, it's no shock to hear I'm over 50 now. I've been for my over 50s health check. My cholesterol levels are rising slightly. My blood glucose levels are rising slightly. I've changed my diet. I walk my dog. But as the practice nurse said, there's just something extra you need to do. And I've got a bike. I'm no stranger to the swimming pool, but I've never run before. So when I was asked to do this, I thought, you know what, actually, yeah, I will give this a go. So I'm doing it for the total beginners. I'm doing it for the people that aren't confident. I'm doing it for the over 50s.
Get on, yeah.
You're flying the flag for a lot of people, and we're very proud of you. And Laura, I finance and fitness expert, it's fair to say. He's going to be alongside you just sort of for moral support. But, you know, you've become a real fitness fanatic, it's fair to say, haven't you?
I have in previous life, pre-kids, I was really into my fitness, but actually it massively dropped off between work, weather, life gets in the way. And so in January, the Couch to 5K really got me out in a structured way. And from then on, we've done the 5K at the Manchester Run, and Gary he missed me. I was like, Gary, we said you take a picture of me, and he missed me, so it was ready for everyone else. But then I did the Great North Run as well with the team, and it just started somewhere. You don't have to do that, but the fact that it got even so like I am historically a fit person, I've lost my way a little bit. It was the social side of it. That Facebook group, I couldn't wait to check how people were doing. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's been incredible watching you actually, and your fitness journey, and that's
you, aren't I?
Yeah, it was all right. Yes, it's true.
Well,
yeah.
it's hard to get it in.
A little bit gutted the other day. We went through and it's like, well, she's fine. But the thing is, it is a bit of a journey. And the Couch to 5K things, you don't just go out and run 5K, right? So you're starting that.
Just to I am not running 5K today. We are starting week 1, run 1. But you know, to bring it back to finances, Laura, it's a bit like a pension, isn't it? You should put the time in now. It's going to pay dividends in later life, hopefully.
100%.
That's the way to do it. Right then, if you want to join Gary and start in Couch to 5K, join our Facebook page. And you see loads of people. There's 4,500 people on it now. And it's a great place to share how you're getting on, as Laura was saying, or even get advice on the best running playlist suggestions too.
Now, if you want to join it, just head over to Facebook, then search for Morning Live, click on the About tab, and then you need to scroll down, find our page, and press join. Now, I think, Gary, it is time. You've got a little bit of a sort of furrowed brow, but there's absolutely no need because we are all in this with you. There'll be loads of people watching this going,
I've got a friend by my side. We're going to warm up and we're going to be setting off quite soon.
Well, I was going to say all that, but you just said it. So, yeah. There we go. 15 minutes, I believe.
15 minutes time, Gary will set off. And
We'll ruin it for you.
Thank you. From online communities to real life ones. Now, every year, the RHS and the Waitrose Growing Together Award recognises the groups who have transformed disused spaces into thriving gardens for their local area.
Now, after beating off some stiff competition, the 2025 winner was crowned last week. Let's have a little look at the moment. Comedian Tom Allen took the winnings.
Well, I have to tell you a little secret now, because I wanted to say that Roland's Dale is the winner of the Growing Together Award 2025.
I can't believe this. Oh, thank you so much.
We were so busy hugging Gary like he's going off to take on some sort of crazy challenge. It's just the warm-up. It's just the start of the journey there.
Started doing the warm-up with him and not realising we had to get over here for a very important reason. Because Springwatch Jack Bannon is down at Roland's Dell right now. Good to see you, Jack. How's it going?
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant here. Good morning from Merseyside, next to a very loud, busy road. This is the brilliant thing about Roland's Dell, is it's a proper little urban oasis of nature. Come in here with me. It is amazing to think of what this place looked like not even 2 years ago, when it was covered an impenetrable mass of brambles and ivy that has been cleared in, like I say, not even 2 years to look like what it looks like now. A beautiful space for people and for wildlife too. Now, don't just take my word for it, because I've got the man who spearheaded the creation of Roland's Dell with me now, Dr. Frank Sharp. Come in, lovely to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming down to Roland's Dell.
Congratulations on the award.
I'm amazed by that. Thank you so much.
Have a little walk through. Can you give us an insight into exactly what you had to do to get it to this stage?
Well, it's a uniquely positioned site. It was overwhelmed by ivy and locked in debris and rubbish, but it's a cherished space. We've got behind us the shops, busy shop centre. We have the medical centre above. We've got sheltered accommodation around us. So we wanted it not to be neglected and built upon, but a cherished space for everyone to use. So we removed the ivy. We took about 300 bin bags of litter out and about 25 tonnes of debris. So
it's very, a lot of hard work has gone into it. What motivated you to come and take on this challenge?
Well, we just want to we've done lots of neglected spaces around Maghull and planted about 18,000 trees, but we wanted to be a restorative haven for wildlife and for humans alike.
Brilliant. And what's next?
Well, we want to finish this off. We've made it safe, we've made it accessible with considerable support from our partners. But now we want to put nature back in, and we've got about a year to do that. And then we've got other plans for other neglected spaces near you.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Well, of course, it's not just you. We've got a team of volunteers here, so thank you very much, Frank. But over here, we've got John and Joanne. Hello. Now, John, you were saying about the 1 hour volunteer thing that goes on. You can tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, certainly. As a group, we kind of realised that a best model for participation was a short, sharp blast of time. Yeah. So we created a 1 hour initiative. People come along, they might have commitments to family or other community initiatives, and they can give a nice short break and get progress made on the project. Brilliant. And if you think about it, 8 volunteers for 1 hour is equivalent to one person working for a complete day.
Yeah. So, Joanne, what brought you here?
Well, I've always wanted to do something in the community, but to be honest, I'm not much of a gardener, so I decided to give it a go. Met some lovely people, learn some new things and get out in the fresh air and really enjoy it.
I can see your fingers getting greener as you speak.
But not quite.
Right, well, I'll let you guys get back to your volunteering. We've got a team over there that are working on a massive palatial bug hotel that's over there. But if you follow me this way, I want to show you something that you can do in your own spaces that they're doing here at the Rollensdale. We've got volunteers all around. But come and have a look at these piles of brash, which are a little bit understated. You might even say a little bit underwhelming, but not me, because these are important habitats. Come down here with me. This is a little bug snug. And this is just a very easy thing you can do in your garden. You can chuck anything on here. You can chuck sticks, you can chuck leaves, you can chuck wood chip, and this is providing a habitat for spiders, for woodlice, for all sorts of invertebrates. And you might be sat there thinking, well, why do I want all these insects in my garden? Well, do you like frogs? Do you like hedgehogs? Do you like birds? Then this is going to provide a home for all of those things. So such an easy thing that you can do here, that the team are doing here to help wildlife. Now, speaking of birds, you guys have been sending in your pictures. Let's take a look at a couple of them now. We've got a robin that's been sent in here by Davy B, and this just highlights the importance of providing water. We've been through an incredibly dry summer, but making sure you provide it through winter, very important too. Then we've got some starlings sent in from Essex. This is an armada of starlings on a lawn, and you might be wondering, why so many? What are they feeding on? Well, they're eating leather jackets, which are the larvae of caddisfly, daddy longlegs. And if you're the kind of person that likes a nice manicured lawn, then those caddisfly larvae can eat the roots and make the grass brown. So those starlings, you want them in your garden. And then let's have a quick look at this picture from Lynn, sparrowhawk in the garden. If you're going to build an environment, a whole ecosystem, then you're going to get these predators coming too. That's when you know you've got a very healthy ecosystem. So it's been a brilliant morning here at the Rollensdale. Very motivational to see what you can do in such a small space in such a small time. And I hope it's motivated you to get out there and do by nature wherever you are.
I think it has.
It's
fantastic.
If you like the idea of having a robin in water in your garden, stick around because later Adam is going to show you how to entice a robin to your garden in some water.
But let's face it, the sparrowhawk is
Yeah.
I do love a robin though.
Yeah, me too. I do enjoy it.
Lovely stuff, yeah, and we'll be catching Neil Jones a bit later on as well, and how you used to get involved with all that kind of stuff. There's loads coming up. Now, despite hundreds of projects like Rollensdale offering access to nature for free, research shows that people experiencing financial troubles are less likely to spend time outdoors. That's what the stats say, Iona.
Yeah, absolutely. And the research is really clear that there is this incredibly deep link between our mental health and our finances. And often, sadly, debt problems and mental health problems can go hand in hand. And if you think about it, the reasons for that are really understandable. So if you are struggling with your mental health, then you may find it more difficult to deal with your finances because it's a tricky subject at the best of times. It requires you to be across the detail, you've got to make the right choices at the right moments, you've got to keep your spending in check. These things aren't always possible if you are struggling with your mental health. And conversely, if you started having financial difficulties, it's really common to have frequent or constant worries, to feel that you've not got hope for the future, and to be feeling overwhelmed. So you might start maybe being avoidant, not checking credit card statements or letters from your bank, and also perhaps even self-sabotaging, so spending more on your credit card when you're already in debt. This is really understandable behaviour, and it's something I completely relate to because I've had bouts of anxiety in my 20s and 30s. I had a particularly bad period in my early 20s and the job before I was doing this one where I was just really uncertain about my future, and I just didn't know if I was ever going to achieve financial independence. And when you feel like that, it can be really hard to get out of that pattern of thinking. So it was a very difficult time. I came through it partly because I learned more about money, and through that I felt much more empowered and informed to make better decisions. But that anxiety hasn't totally left me. I feel like it is always just around the corner because I'm self-employed. So if I don't find work, then I don't have money. And so therefore I have to learn how to keep it in check so that it doesn't overwhelm me.
Yeah, well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because you're quite brave to do that. Because finance sometimes can be overwhelming. We hear that a lot every day from our morning live views. But on top of that, because we're here in this outside space, I know actually that's something that you found with comfort as well, is getting out.
Massively. For me, being out in nature has been a really important coping strategy because it's free. We've been hearing this morning how it doesn't cost anything to get outside for even a short period of time. And what I find is that I don't like to spend all my time talking and thinking about money. When people meet me, they expect me to be obsessed with money. But that's not the key to happiness. It's about using it as a tool so you can enjoy life.
And you were like a bit of wild swimming on that trip.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Straight out there.
That's right, yeah. Really threw myself there in the deep end, and that was in Cornwall. And I love wild swimming because that's a time where I can just be totally present in nature and not be thinking about money. And having that balance for me is really important, and I can't recommend it enough to anyone else.
It might be a bit too much today, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going nowhere near that. Nowhere near it.
Don't knock it till you've tried it. You should have seen him last night. You've got other tips though, haven't you? What are you?
That's right. So I would say, first of all, if you are anxious and you're not sure where to begin, take small daily steps. So breaking down whatever problem you have into maybe one action that you can take today. Often it's just the totality of the problem that can overwhelm people and stop them from taking action. But even if it's just opening that bank statement or phoning up that company to speak to them, that one action could make a difference. The second tip is to set aside some worry time. So I know that the psychotherapist Owen O'Kane talked about this on the show recently.
Scheduling your worry time.
Yeah. Which can sound a bit strange, but actually it's really worked for me, where you write down your worries in a worry book and then you go, right, I'm going to think about that in worry time. And if you can combine that with nature time as well,
it's not as good as hammer time.
No, it doesn't, but actually it'll do you the world of good. Because, for example, if you decide to take a walk to a cafe, on the way there, you're not thinking about your worries, but when you get there, that could be your worry time. And what you might actually find is that once you've written down your worries, either you realise they're not really big worries to begin with, or, okay, that is a problem, but I can tackle it. I've got this approach that I can take. So that's my second tip. And then my third tip is one that I came up with, which is the why method. So it's about asking yourself why you're worried about something to really get to the root of the problem. So if I give you an example about how this works for me, I might sometimes think, I'm worried I won't pay my mortgage. Why? I'm worried I'm not earning enough. Why? I've neglected that aspect of my job. Bang! I've got the answer to what I'm actually worried about, and I can come up with a strategy to actually deal with that rather than let the worries overwhelm me.
3 helpful tips there for people to try. On top of that, as we know, there is support out there online for people to do that extra bit if they're worried about finance debt.
Completely. My first message is it's never too early to get the help from the people who can help you. So if you're in debt, speak to your lenders and let them know that you are struggling. But also, if you are further down that track where you feel that speaking to all the different providers that you deal with could be too overwhelming, it's also never too late. So if you need additional help, that you can't deal with the providers all on your own, then go and get free debt advice. I mean, we talk about it so much on the programme. People may feel like, oh, I don't really want to do that because, I can deal with this myself. I can sort out these problems myself, and that's really understandable. But actually, I found that not only talking about these things with someone who can help you can actually really, really help you overcome some of those money issues, but also it can in some cases even save lives. So it's just so important that we open up that conversation about money. And 2 schemes I just want to give a quick mention to: breathing space. This is where you can get legal protection and space from your creditors for 60 days. And you can apply for that through the Money Helper website by finding a free debt advisor. So if you are feeling really kind of hemmed in by your debts, getting that breathing space could be really important. As in England and Wales, there's a debt moratorium in Scotland which lasts 6 months. No equivalent in Northern Ireland, but you can still get free debt advice through the Money Helper website. And the mental health breathing space is available specifically for those who are receiving mental health crisis treatment. So the bottom line is there is help available.
We'll put all of the information on our website. If you want to turn to any of those resources, head over to bbc.co.uk/morning live, and your routes to those services will be on there.
Very helpful. Thank you, Iona. Now then, lawyer Gary Roycroft is putting his money where his mouth is and taking on the couch, the 5K challenge.
It's not strictly fitness yet. Earlier, he told us how he was feeling ahead of the next 9 weeks. This is just day 1 of the 5K that he is building up to. He's been warming up with Laura. They are ready to start. They're just over there. They're doing their stretches. So this is the first week of the plan. Laura is going to be his buddy. She's there for moral support all of the way. He is still warming up, but I think the time is now, Gary. It is time.
He must be warm by now.
His hamstrings have never been longer. Right, come on, guys. Let's give him a bit of support. All of you, let's count him down from 3, 2, 1.
Surely he gets to walk in there. And he's not, yeah, he does. Real pace. So he's got 5K today. He builds up to it, so it's about 60 seconds on, and he's looking good. Oh, he's coming around. Well, we'll give him a little bit of a cheer as he goes past. And then we'll carry on.
It's a foolish mistake to overtake Laura, though. It's day 1, Gary. It's day 1.
Lovely technique.
He's just going to nail 5K today, I think.
He's such an inspiration, isn't he? So he's doing that for people who don't run, for people of his age, for people who are totally new to this. Hopefully this is going to make you think, if he can have a go, I can have a go.
And Laura started somewhere. She now sees running as a hobby. Maybe Gary will feel the same way. But actually, you might not know your next hobby might be prescribed to you by a doctor. It's known as social prescribing, isn't it?
So there are loads of things in our lives that affect our health and that can help our health that are not medicine, that doctors are not expert in. The world around us affects our health far more than exactly what our GP tells us to do. So that's the basis of social prescribing. And a huge amount of this is about connecting people to community. One of the huge problems we talk about all the time on Morning Live is about loneliness and isolation. And so at the heart of social prescribing, a very wide range of activities that you can get involved in. But a huge amount of it is saying, let's get you in to a group, an organisation, connect you with people who can involve you in something that could really turn your life around. So you can get a referral. Your GP is a great place to start. But there are many other places that may steer you towards a social prescription. Hospitals, charities, social prescribing link workers. There are lots of charities involved. And one of the things that we're talking about today is green social prescribing. So there's a whole range of different things: gardening groups, walking schemes, wild swimming, outdoor therapy, work on farms, things like that, which will get you outdoors. Because we've already talked about with Adam, nature doesn't fix all your problems. And I thought Iona spoke so brilliantly about going, you go for a walk in the woods. You think, why would I go for a walk in the woods? I've still got my debt, the credit card bill's still there, but it will change your ability to have that time for worry and to reduce your stress so you can tackle your problems.
Really nice to do, gardening, going for a walk, having a swim. But can green social prescribing actually help your health?
Yes, so there is a lot of, first of all, there is something, needing a scientist to go gardening can be good for you. It's like, all right, but you can go and talk to anyone who works on an allotment, they'll be like, this is amazing for me. It's like joining a choir, you know, it can be incredible for you. But yes, still, if the NHS is going to put money into it, the government is going to spend our tax money on it, they do want evidence. And so in 2021, the government launched the Green Social Prescribing Programme. In England, that was extended until March 2025, and part of those programs is to gather evidence of effectiveness, and they are seeing a big return on investment. So if you're spending money on social prescribing for mental health, you're seeing results that you can compare in terms of pounds per benefit to things like drugs or therapy. So you do see good evidence for these programs.
And you've got details there, haven't you, of people can actually get involved with this kind of
Absolutely. So we've got, if you want to get involved, there is the National Academy for Social Prescribing. You can talk to your GP. There's a York Gardening project that we've been looking at. People across the country have been getting involved with projects like this. Gardening is extraordinary because it gets you a very wide range of benefits. And when we're talking about health, of course, there's community. There's also physical work. There's also the sense of accomplishment. Literally, the aromatic molecules in the garden are shown to reduce your blood pressure and improve your well-being in quite a very short space of time. You've got microbiome benefits. You've got the views. All those different things stack up. So one person's benefit may be quite different to another person's benefit, but there is something out there in that green social prescribing world for many people to benefit. Yeah.
Next time I say the garden smells nice, you're going to say it's what? It's an aromatic.
Oh, sorry, volatile aromatic compounds, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
But when you go into the woods, just that smell, that pine tree that we're looking at there is giving off molecules that are getting into our bloodstream and improving our health.
Adam Foster's never nodded more.
There we go.
There it is.
That little dog in the back of the car. Yeah, the endorsement.
For all of the details on social prescribing, visit the Morning Live website, bbc.co.uk/Morning Live. Aromatic, whatever they are.
Exactly that. You might count going on a safari as the ultimate nature activity, but you don't have to travel to the African savannah to see animals in their natural habitat. You can do it from your street.
Yeah, Made in Chelsea star and former conservation worker Tristan Phipps has been on the lookout for the wildlife that, like us, has made Britain's towns and cities their home.
Whether it's elephant watching in Africa as a safari guide or wandering through my local parks in London, I've always loved spotting wildlife.
People often think you have to travel hundreds of miles to see wildlife in action, but the truth is you don't need to venture far at all. Even in our bustling cities, we're a lot closer to nature than you may think.
It's often right under our noses, but much of it goes unnoticed because it happens at night.
As the lights go down and the streets start to empty, some of our city's hidden wildlife wakes up.
Chris from Lancashire Wildlife Trust has organised a bat walk in Wythenshawe Park, right in the heart of one of Manchester's largest residential suburbs.
How do we expect to find these bats?
We try and look for them just when it starts getting a bit of a lower light level. We see them silhouetted on the lighter skies. And then the best way to find where to see them is we use one of these.
What is that little gadget? It looks very futuristic, I have to say. So this is a bat detection device?
Yes, we call it bat detector. All the species in the UK produce what we call echolocation. That is clicks or little noises with their mouth or nose that they use to bounce off the surrounding habitat around them to be able to make a mental map of where they are flying and what they are hunting. And so the different bat species actually echolocate at different frequencies. So we're most likely to be seeing the common pipistrelle.
The pipistrelle is the most common of the 18 species of bats in the UK, and its call at 45 kilohertz is too high a frequency for the human ear to hear. Chris is getting ready for the walk. We'll be using red torches because bat eyes are less sensitive to red light.
So the first thing, we've got this little bat detector here. I'll show you guys how to use it, and then we've got a few for everyone to have one each.
Bats are vital to our ecosystem, keeping pest populations such as mosquitoes at bay. But many of the bat species are endangered, and Chris hopes to educate people about how we can support them.
One of the main things is creating really good nest spaces for them. This is an example of one of those.
So this is a bat box?
Yes, this is a bat box that you can buy and put up nice and high on the wall, 3 to 4 meters up, or up in large trees if you have them. We encourage turning off lights in your gardens at night. Having things like ponds encourages insects and also gives them some drinking water.
Ready to go.
After just a few laps of the park, it's starting to get dark, but our patience is finally rewarded. It's very difficult to see in the low light, but it's definitely a bat. And we're just 1 mile away from the nearest main road.
It's just doing little circuits around the open space, feeding. And we can hear it on the detectors as it gets close.
But you don't need to venture out at night to encounter urban wildlife. One animal that is now a regular sight in broad daylight is the urban fox. Paul McDonald runs a rescue charity in the northwest, stepping in when these resourceful animals get into trouble.
I feel like foxes sometimes can be a little bit misunderstood. Is there any danger to humans from having foxes in the gardens?
There's no danger to humans from foxes whatsoever, and it's their instinct to run away from humans if approached.
In fact, foxes play a role in keeping rodent populations down, and our back gardens are providing them with the perfect habitat.
So what is it about our gardens that foxes love so much?
A lot of the diet of foxes comes from lawns, from earthworms and eating insects as well.
And if we do want to encourage foxes into our garden, what sort of things can we do to make this environment a little bit more safe for them?
The biggest by far would be getting rid of any netting, because a lot of the calls we've had this year have been foxes causing football netting.
Susie Hall from Manchester has called Paul a number of times to help poorly foxes that visited her garden. She found this fox suffering with a skin condition called mange, but thanks to Paul, it's since been released back into her garden with a clean bill of health.
There she goes.
Susie has created a wildlife haven at home, and she's agreed to show me around.
So there's a fox house there. Next to it, there's a hedgehog house as well, and that's the remains of a squirrel nest in that they built back this summer. I've even had a sparrowhawk here trying to get the birds that I feed as well.
And isn't it so nice to share this environment with animals and live alongside them? It's so important for people to understand that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hedgehogs are also quietly thriving in our urban neighbourhoods, and that's partly down to a growing network of wildlife-conscious gardeners.
She's just over 6 months, I would think. She's looking really healthy now.
Barbara Roberts has been caring for them for over 4 years.
The hedgehogs that are coming in now are coming in because of loss of habitat. They like to have a space that's not touched at all and let to overgrow. They also like strong smelling plants like honeysuckle, failing that a compost heap.
You can help hedgehogs by providing them with somewhere to shelter.
Put a hibernation home, that's a box about 12-14 inches long, put it on tiny little legs so it's off the ground so that the cold air doesn't penetrate into that. Fill it with hay and straw and have a removable lid so that you can actually open it to see your hedgehog from time to time.
Hedgehogs are lactose intolerant, so feed them dog or cat food, not bread and milk. Make sure they have access to water and don't forget to create those all-important hedgehog highways.
A hedgehog will travel 2 miles per night foraging for food. Make a little hole in your fence, in your garden, so that the hedgehog can actually go from garden to garden.
Our urban wildlife is at risk from loss of habitat, so if we can create animal-friendly gardens, we're more likely to see nature thrive on our doorsteps.
It's been amazing to learn about the animals that live in our towns and cities, and for them to flourish alongside us, we can all play our parts, like leaving aside a wild space in your garden or putting it in the back box. So hopefully you can enjoy this urban wildlife for generations to come.
Urban foxes really do divide opinion, but you know what? I just want to have lunch with Barbara, and I want to hang out in Susie's garden.
Just to see if the sparrowhawk.
I want to see that sparrowhawk. I'm impressed. Fair play. None of that wildlife, though, would exist without one important thing, that thing being water. And that's why our wetlands are some of the most important habitats of all.
And there's a brilliant one right here, actually. So Cherie and Adam have got their boots, wellies, whatever they've got, ready to explore. They're over the bridge there, the other side of this wildlife, beautiful city centre, urban wildlife we're in. Cherie, are you there, Cherie?
Yes.
Oh, you found Adam, Martin.
Yeah, we are here at the bank of the River Medlock, which is one of the 3 rivers that runs through the city of Manchester. So, Adam, how important are wetlands to our ecosystem?
I mean, first of all, I can't believe we're in a wetland in the middle of the city, but when we think about it, logically, you know, they're great for biodiversity.
Yeah.
So they'll bring in wildlife, but also you look at that water and you think about the water that we take ultimately in our cities on our roofs, runs off into the drains, overloads of drains. actually, in reality, if you can feed it into that, and then this floods
Yeah.
a sponge.
Wow. I mean, the water's pretty clear as well, isn't it?
Seriously, so since they've cleaned this up,
Yeah.
they've had brown trout in there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What other wildlife would you find?
So, well, I mean, obviously they've had kingfishers down here, which means there's other fish in there as well. But even when you think about, this as a habitat, and you spread things like this through a city, wildlife can move from A to B to C. And I love the way that this has been planted. All the sort of trees on the lower levels deal with the wetter conditions. Up the top, they're drier.
Yeah. So what other benefits do wetlands bring to us?
Us as human beings, it's been proven that just spending time in these environments, we feel better.
Yeah.
And
what if you're not near a space like this or any other sort of blue spaces? What can you do at home?
Create one.
How?
I mean, obviously not this, but do you know what? You can literally take a washing up bowl, dig yourself a little hole, put it in, nice and level, so the water doesn't go over the edges, and then find yourself some cobbles, maybe some gravel, wash that off, place that in. Make sure you create a little sort of more or less a beach so wildlife can get in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then oxygenating plant, and then a plant that's going to cover the ground, and then on top of that, maybe a little marginal plant. Put it in a sunny little spot, not too shady, and bang, the wildlife will come.
That is brilliant. So you can literally do that at home.
You literally can.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So you have to try it at home. Definitely.
Seriously, it's so easy. It's so easy to do.
Yeah. Well, it sounds it. I have to get your washing up bowl out.
But I mean, if you think about it though, in logic, about now our cities are literally creating these environments, and they're getting repeated in different places.
Yeah.
And that sort of human connection, you can come out of your office, and then bang, you can be in here for a few minutes. But also the wildlife free.
That is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Have you got a washing up bowl at home, Gethin?
Just thinking, actually, that's how you get the robin in the garden then, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and it's like you said, it's so easy and also safe because it's just a shallow bit of water, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a brilliant and easy way to do
Bring it to the home.
Listen, we'll be back with a side on Thursday when the Traitors star Jazz Singh is letting us in on his secret hobby of fishing. We keep saying secret, like
Not so secret anymore. If you needed any more inspiration for ways you can enjoy the great outdoors, then we know just the people.
every week we give you advice in Ask the Experts. This is where we put your queries in our WhatsApp group and wait for the Morning Live team to respond.
Well, we're doing it differently, and there's only one question we're asking today, which is a question from us. What makes them wild about nature?
My favourite way to connect with nature is there's a park near me, and I will just put my headphones in, play some music, and just let the playlist take me somewhere.
I very much enjoy a river walk, and I try and go on different river walks when I can, either with friends or by myself. And look, I found these geese or ducks maybe. I'm not entirely sure.
Even if you're just getting out there for 5 minutes a day, maybe you've got a green space close by or perhaps a park, that's great. Just get out there and enjoy your surroundings.
Me and my best friend, rather than go and sit somewhere and have a coffee, we'll get a coffee to take away and we'll head to the nearest green space.
You know what, I don't know about going outside and walking all the time, but here's something I'd really like you to do. Look up.
Last year, I downloaded an app that recognises the birds. So now I've got 47 species of birds. It's such a lovely thing to do.
But anything having small kids teaches you is that no matter how old you are, it's still really good fun to jump in puddles. Whee!
If you really want to get out in nature, why not get a little boat somewhere?
So I've seen your first red squirrel. They are little superstars, little Bobby Dazzlers. What a day. What a day.
Connect us with is absolutely right.
And McDonald's is just the best. She's given permission to all of us to do it. I love it.
You know, also her wellies, they're one and pair. Right earlier, we got on with Spring Watches wildlife expert Jack Adams, who is around 30 miles away in Liverpool, and a community project in the early stages of rewilding their local area. They're all getting stuck in, weren't they?
They are, and also Strictly Pro and former landscape gardener. Did you know Neil Jones is at another project in Birmingham that's been doing the same thing for almost 30 years? Neil, over to you.
Hi, good morning from this beautiful spot here in the heart of Birmingham. Now, when I arrived here this morning, I actually felt like I was in the centre of the countryside. It was beautiful. In fact, no, either side of us, we have flats, we have houses. This is a refuge for wildlife and for humans. And this has taken many hours to create this beautiful space, this award-winning community garden. Now, I'm here with Jenny. Jenny, you're the big boss around here, this beautiful place. Tell me, what do you love about it?
I love all the things that you've just talked about, the fact that it's a hidden gem in the heart of Birmingham, and it's a haven for wildlife and nature, but it's also a haven for people. So what I love most about here, from the very first moment I walked in, was a sense of welcome. It's a real community, and that's focused around all the people that use the gardens. So from our therapeutic horticulture volunteers with a range of support needs who come in and make this garden what it is, working with our team, to the schools and the young people that come and enjoy the spaces. So it's an absolutely fantastic place to be.
Honestly, it felt like a community, especially when I arrived and I had a cup of tea straight away.
If you haven't got down the drive, if someone hasn't asked you in the first couple of minutes, we're not doing our job properly.
Well, I'm going to speak to you later because, you know, we're going to join you in with a bit of Strictly Fitnesses, so don't go away. Now, you might not have a wonderful space like this at home, but do not worry because we're going to show you with one pot how you can bring as much wildlife to yourself. Now, I'm going to get this from my mate, Matt. You're going to show us, you're the head gardener around here. This has been a while since I've done this, so you're going to get me back into this. Now, this is the first one. We're going to try and attract bees. We want bees in our garden. So tell me about this plant.
Well, this is an aster, and if you're looking around at the moment, you'll see that certainly around here, these have only just gone into flower in the last 2 weeks or so.
Okay.
So they're a wonderful late season source of nectar and pollen for bees and a wide range of other creatures as well.
Okay.
And
we've got some ivy. This is wait, there is a type of bee that loves ivy, right?
Absolutely, yes. So there's one particularly in southern England, which is called the ivy bee, which relies entirely on the ivy plant and its flowers. So this one isn't flowering at the moment, but later in the season, and again you'll be able to see them on ivy plants around at the moment. The buds are just developing, and it's a really valuable source of nectar and pollen for a whole range of different creatures. The bees love it.
They do, and do you know, there's a fun fact, because I didn't know this before, but bees can actually, they can't see the colour red. So they see colours like bluey green, orange, yellow, which I find fascinating. Must be a reason why bees are not. Anyway, let's move on, because we're going to show you now how you can get the butterflies, because we've got the bees, we're moving on to the butterflies, so we're going to come here. Now, you've been sending in your pictures, your wildlife images all week, which we absolutely love, so please don't stop doing that, keep bringing them in. We do have 2 photos of a red admiral. One is from Dev in North Hampshire, and the other one is from Joan in Dorset, so we're going to get a look at those. And what I love about them is what we're seeing here as well, is that there's so much colour and shape, and that's beautiful, and that's what we've got here. So tell me about this. This is a strawberry seduction, correct?
Absolutely. So this is a Achillea or a yarrow, and this exemplifies exactly what you're after with regards to butterflies. So you can see these umbels of lots of flowers. They form a great landing platform for the butterflies. And you can see there's also a profusion of little blossoms on it, which again, lots and lots of opportunities for nectar and pollen production. And then also, you'll see them in the wild at the moment, and you'll see them round and about everywhere. And you'll be seeing that there's an awful lot of them about, which is great for the bees and other creatures.
Okay, and now we have, this is the hebe.
Absolutely.
Tell me about the hebe. I love the name hebe.
Absolutely. So again, the shape of the flower is what's important with this. Again, you've got that profusion of tiny little flowers, but the shape of the little tube-like flowers, lots of them, and those are really valuable to the butterflies as that gives them the opportunity to get their tongues in, and it's a really nice shape for them to be able to access.
And lastly, we have the lavender. I've got plenty of this in my garden. So they attract butterflies, but what I love about them is they do actually help get rid of mosquitoes because of the scent.
Absolutely. So you've got a lovely fragrance to them, which is one of the reasons that we like them so much. But again, you've got that lots and lots of flowers on the stem, really long lasting. And again, the structure of them, they've got a lovely open structure, which makes the pollen very available to bees and butterflies and creatures of all sorts. So it's really valuable.
Wonderful.
In so many ways.
Love all of that. Now, if you don't have a garden at home and you want to, I don't know, you want to just experience something, or maybe you want to visit a green area site yourself, we've got all the information on the website from the help of RHS and Britain in Bloom. You can find out all that information, and that's at bbc.co.uk/morninglive.
Superb. Thank you, Neil. I didn't know about
this. This is great.
It's still going. I didn't know about the butterfly tongue things.
I enjoyed you trying to impersonate a butterfly tongue.
I'm trying to work out.
Oh, it's doing it again.
As we've just seen there are all kinds of ways gardening can bring a community together. So we're going to take a look back at when gardener Mark Lane visited one neighbourhood in South Manchester, taking a stand against fly tipping.
Hundreds of bin bags, used furniture, and even an old fridge. These are just a few of the things we found dumped in alleys across Manchester when Morning Live investigated fly tipping.
Now, they certainly aren't meant to be used for fly tipping, but historically they were used to hide the unsavoury side of urban life. But there's a green revolution taking over.
Believe it or not, this green oasis was once a fly tipping hotspot.
We'd get fridges, get mattresses, be quite a bit of rubbish.
Yeah.
And now I look down the alley and just have this real feeling of joy, really.
Rosie Wilding has lived in South Manchester for 20 years and has been working with her neighbours to transform their alley from a dumping ground to a gardener's paradise.
We started by doing an intense recycling campaign amongst all our neighbours. Then some landlords donated money and we started to put a few pots at each end. And then a housing association gave us more money and we put more pots out. And then it just kept going.
I love the fact that you've got a real mix of flowers, you've got vegetables, herbs. What do you really love growing?
I love big show-off plants, the sunflowers. We've got artichokes, we have peppers and chilies, we've got potatoes. We haven't got carrots this year, but we usually do.
That's amazing. But I mean, that must really help reduce food bills.
It's a lovely feeling when you're cooking the dinner
Yeah.
to go and open the back gate,
Yeah.
walk down the alley with a little bowl
Yeah.
and pick what you want and take it back and cook it.
Another Manchester resident, Anne Tucker, helps organise almost 40 local alley greening projects across the south of the city.
We just set up a little organisation called Upping It, which is a community project really. And we started raising money from the council, and then we got 2 or 3 quite nice sponsorships from banks and things like that to do more alleyways.
I love how Anne's green alley is full of clever ideas that don't cost the earth.
We put this up for the children recently, which is literally just baked bean tins painted rainbow colour with little plants in. So there's just things like that all over the place.
I love it.
Really good.
I mean, you've obviously got, a lot of plants in this space as well. How do you go about watering it?
We've been working with 2 of the social housing people who have actually been fitting outdoor taps where they've got tenants.
It's actually a very long alley, isn't it? I mean, you can't see the end.
No.
You've purposely hidden sort of the route.
Seriously, our whole idea is to make people weave around. So this alley is north-south.
Okay.
So all morning it's sunny here and all afternoon it's sunny here. But this is the hotter side.
Yeah.
All the daisy flowers and the geraniums and things like the ones that absolutely love the sun. Things that particularly like shade, we often encourage people to do herbs.
Yeah.
Because they can grow in most places.
It's really natural as well. I love that.
Exactly.
I mean, I love the fact that you're sharing ideas, sharing knowledge, sharing skills.
It's about making a neighbourhood work. And it sounds really sort of simplistic, but it's brilliant.
Green alleys like these are springing up all over the country and are a great opportunity for people to get together and really make a difference, all whilst putting their own unique mark on their local area.
The creativity on show proves that you don't need a garden to get close to nature. It's clear that transforming your alley into a green space can improve your community spirit as well as your mental health. So why not go and knock on a few doors and get to work?
What a difference. And I love the fact you can't see from one side or the other, you know, so it just feels like you're in a proper green space.
But I bet they feel really happy to be home. It just makes you smile, doesn't it?
It's lush, isn't it? Gary's been treading the streets and alleys of Manchester for the past half an hour on his very first run of the Couch to 5K programme.
He has been alongside our finance expert as they've made their way, Laura Pomfret, round the park. And it's just... So for the programme, this is day one. That was the end of your cool down. You're smiling.
I'm smiling. So to quote Churchill, it's not the end, it's not the beginning of the end, but it's perhaps the end of the beginning.
I think that is a positive thing. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Well, I did because Laura kept me going, and that's Celia's point is doing it with a friend or doing it with the app. It's good. It keeps you going. It keeps your morale going. So thank you.
Chatting all around Manchester, obviously.
Well, if you haven't got a Laura, you have got the Morning Live community. You can check us out on
Yeah.
Facebook.
How was he? Was he good? Was he decent start?
He was good. We had Ella Toon talking to us on the app, telling
There you
us when
go.
to stop, which is cool around Manchester. But he was so good, and it's a great start.
We don't need a playlist. You've got Laura next.
He was like, "Please turn up the music."
Listen, day one of 9 weeks, we are all with you.
Yes. Go well.
Loads of you have been getting in touch today, celebrating nature with us. Viv has sent us an incredible video. They caught of a fox stealing, wait for this, a badger's food in their garden. So this was from Viv. Have a look at that cheeky little urban fox.
wow.
And a badger, scared off by the badger though.
Didn't get away with it.
No.
Springwasher on that footage, wasn't it? More foxes from Glyn, who sent us this. Foxes in a back garden. Hey, that's great with a footage, isn't it? Just fun watching, isn't it?
It takes your breath away, doesn't it, to think that that is actually happening in your back garden. On a smaller scale, Joan sent us this picture of a bee hard at work in her garden. We saw Neil earlier giving us some suggestions of plants that might attract bees to your garden. Joan's done exactly that.
Adam Frost, you're absolutely loving seeing these come in, aren't you?
It's absolutely incredible. So I actually think this is the best Morning Live ever. This is what you should do every single day, and the nation will smile just watching it. I tell you.
You never have to go back inside again. If Adam says so, I'm on board.
You actually wish we'd never go back inside. What else have we got? We've got Sue who caught a little hare having a nosy through her patio.
Oh, she didn't catch it. She caught a picture of it.
Good
Just
point,
to
yeah.
clarify.
She did well to catch a hare, wouldn't she? That's right.
I absolutely love this from Andy. Andy said that these deer visit my local area and gardens on a regular basis. Andy says it is truly magical, and I think we can all agree with that.
Should we carry it? Isn't it lovely? Janet sent us a picture of a black swan from a local park in Wigan. So this is a great example. Listen, you don't have it in your back garden, whatever, but you can get out quite quickly and see things like that. Beautiful.
Wonderful Wigan. Vic has been looking after hedgehogs since 2019 and sent us this of the baby in the garden. Have a look at this little hedgehog. Oh, it's so cute.
Don't forget, if you're going to have a hedgehog in the back garden, hedgehog highways. Very important.
So cute.
Exactly. Love that. Thank you so much for all your messages. It's been so much fun. And now we're going to do Strictly Fitness outside for the very first time too. Maria's in charge. Cue the music.
I think you guys are ready. All warmed up. I see you running.
This week we have Movie Week, one of my favorite weeks, and of course I had to choose Singing in the Rain. And Ori and Joanna are performing their beautiful American food. So that is what we're going to learn a little bit.
A very British thing to say, but we've been very lucky with the weather today.
We're not dancing in the rain today. So our first two exercises of the day, we're going to place our hands on the hips, and then we're going to stretch to one side, and then change to the other side. If you are doing this seated, we're going to bring the arms out and bring them in and give a nice, really long arm on each side. Now for our second one, we're going to bring our arms like this. We're going to twist the upper body and then lift the opposite knee if you can. And then the other side. If you're seated, I want you to give me a good stretch from one side to the other. And for our American Smooth, we're going to go into a nice lunge to the side, creating a diagonal. Hands together, feet together. 1, 2, and to the other side. And if you are doing this seated, we're going to open up in the diagonal, bring the arms like this, and then again to the other side. Beautiful, just like Helen does it.
From the song from the movie, it's perfect for today. Take it away, Alan.
With a full body workout, it's Maria Tiziani.
Nice and slow. We have a stretch on each side. Nice. And now let's go for our second one. Turn and we lift. Nice and slow. Perfect. We're going to enjoy it today. And for our American Smooth, and to the side. And bring it in. 1, 2, to the other side. Good, keep going. 1, 2, go ahead and go. 1, 2, and dig. To the other side. Good. Everyone's doing it. Go kneel. Show my gun. And we're going to go for our stretch. And our stretch. We've got 2 people doing stretching today. And we're going to twist the upper body. We're having a go. And let's finish up with our American Smooth. Open. 2, flat. And again. Stretch the eyes.
Beautiful. Good job, everybody. That is it for today. I'll be back in the studio with Louise Minchin tomorrow at 9:30. Have a look at
I'll still be here.
Let's play for that.
I have a feeling it's about to get a lot more complicated. Why look like a babysitter? Coughing down first in you.
Please stop asking me that.
You're looking at me like you don't know me. Maybe I never really have. See you tomorrow, Skipper.
The new series of Blue Lights. Watch all episodes on BBC iPlayer.
The Victorian farmhouse in Derby. Perfect for a fantastic refurb on Home's Own Hammer coming up. Or then on BBC One appeals for your help. It's Crime Watch Live.
Border and welcome to Crime Watch Live. We are coming to you from our studio in the Welsh capital, Cardiff.
This morning, a brave shop worker fights off an armed robber.
Within seconds, brandishes the 6-inch kitchen knife. One of the other members of staff, he's come out and clearly could have been hurt himself.
But can you help find the man wielding the knife?
Welcome to Crime Watch Live.
We've been jamming switchboard both here and at the Institute.
To remind you, this was the Reduction Prevent Drop campaign and the Handgun Debate. Hello and welcome to Crime Watch Live giveaway, giving safe this fantastic
Thanks for joining us this morning, and thanks for your calls yesterday, particularly on the theft of those really expensive handbags. We have passed all that information over to the police.
Yeah, thanks so much for that. We'll be hearing more incredible stories from the front line of policing, including how a man pretending to be a paramedic in order to sexually abuse women was finally put behind bars.
He came across as very smug, and I got the feeling that he felt that nobody would believe the victims and what they'd said, and I honestly think he believed he'd get away with it.
Well, he didn't. And South Wales Police are also with us asking for information about missing Charlene Hobbs, a 36-year-old mum whose disappearance they are treating as murder.
And we'll be talking about the power of a good bedtime